talk about that preparation and what it looks like to prepare for what's coming, and not get caught up in the mindset that a lot of businesses are in. And to be quite honest, a lot of businesses weren't really focused on this before the pandemic happened. And we saw what happened to small businesses, coaches, like I said, RDs, people who were in like the health industry, and who didn't exactly prepare for this. And they were just going about their day to day and kind of going in their like humdrum routine, and weren't preparing for something as big as what happened. And then when we were slapped with the world closing down, it took a lot of small businesses with them. So I don't want you to fall into the same trap and do that and make the same mistake. Now that it's looking like everything is going to go back to normal, I want you to think about getting prepared and being prepared, right? So, hey, make sure you like this video. Make sure you leave a comment if something I'm saying is like really sticking to you, really standing out to you. Share this with another health coach or another RD that you know who's trying to break the mold, who's trying to really build their own business outside of all of the boundaries and the walls and all of the changes that have even come to the RD, to the registered dietitian space, where you have to go through all of these loopholes and jump through all of these hoops now to become registered and to become solidified in that space, due to all of the changes that's happened in like the requirements of what you have to have now to even be an RD. So if you know somebody who's trying to break that mold, somebody who's like a Black woman, somebody who is in that space and they're trying to do something different with their business, please tag them in this video, share this video out with them, because they really need to hear this, right? Okay, so let's get into this and talk about preparing for what's to come. Now that the world is open, there's a few things I want you to consider and think about before you jump the gun and try to just basically pluck and put somebody into your small business that may not be the best fit, right? That may not be the position or the role that you need to fill right now, so that you can fix the overwhelming gap of time that you're spending in delivery and not getting to spend in actual marketing and closing new business and closing new clients. You have to find a balance, right? There has to be some type of balance. And to do that, though, I know that I know that there's a perspective that you may have not heard and you may have not considered around this. And I want to make sure I like explain this and articulate it as best as I can in this video today. So we're going to get to it. The first thing I want to dive into is just like why you may not need an integrator and why you may not need someone in a marketing role, because those are the two things you're considering. And those are the two ideas. I'm sure you've been toying with the ideas for months and months and months about hiring somebody, whether that's like a virtual assistant, or you get somebody on a contract, you get independent contractor to come in and take over that role, and you pay somebody hourly for it, right? And you may even be thinking about getting an intern in this space. Whichever one it is, whichever way you're thinking about creatively filling the role, I just want you to think about the role itself and if it's actually what you need. That's first. And then we're going to talk about something else that you need to stay around for and watch this whole video so that you don't make this mistake while you're trying to grow. Okay, so let's just talk about like why an integrator may not be the answer, and it may not be the thing that you actually need. So first of all, an integrator, or the job of like an integrator, right, in regards to the EOS system, which the EOS system is great. I mean, it works for large companies. It's not exactly a system or a framework for building out a team or for building like the operational side of your business that was structured for small businesses. That's more so for large companies, for large organizations, right? Hotels, franchises, let's say big tax firms. That's for larger companies. That's not exactly something that was built for smaller businesses. So let's start there. If you have a coach or somebody you're following who's doing EOS and it's working for them, more power to them. I'm not saying it's not something to try, but what I am saying is, if it's just you right now, or you have like a team of less than 4 or 3 people, EOS probably won't fit for you. It probably won't. And so let me show you an example and let me prove to you why I'm saying that. So an integrator, or the job of an integrator, is really to the job of an integrator is really to like be the glue, right? According to EOS, if you go look up the definition like on their website, it'll tell you this. The job of an integrator is really to like be the glue of the organization, right? It's for that person to be they're like the head of the leadership team. They're the person that's holding the organization together. They're making sure that the business strategies are getting executed. They're making sure that the execution of the business is happening, right? They are making sure everyone on the team understands what to do. They are making sure that the company itself is running, okay? Not just serving clients, they're making sure the company is running. That's the integrator's job. And the reason why having an integrator is not the answer for you solving this problem is you haven't really verified what success looks like in this role to be able to share or to clearly explain to a integrator, if you were to hire one, you aren't able to clearly explain to an integrator like what steps they would have to take or what steps they would have to follow and how many steps are necessary to achieve that result, to achieve a measurable result. So that person, if you hired an integrator or brought an integrator in who was now in charge of literally executing the strategies of your business. I'm not just talking about client deliverables. I'm not just talking about coaching clients. I'm not just talking about social media and marketing. I'm talking about delivering the strategies of your entire business, meaning they're making sure that brand awareness is happening. If you have a goal to go get interns, they're in charge of connecting and making sure that those they have the contact information for the decision makers at universities, at colleges. They're building relationships with other small business owners, right? They are accountable for the revenue results, making sure your profit and loss statements have the numbers on them that you guys set in those team meetings when you had quarterly goals created at your meetings. That person who's the integrator is in charge of that. And if you haven't taken the time, which I'm guaranteeing if you're stuck in the delivery of services and you don't have new business coming in the door, that clearly says you still have to do work around making sure you have a balance between executing the goals of the business and knowing what your prospecting numbers need to be every single day so that you hit your revenue goals. That means you're still working on the basics.